Reading music is so easy. I'm gonna uncover with you guys the secrets to sight reading, to understanding how to read music by yourself so that you can play that favorite song of yours, Mary Had a Little Lamb, with no problem, no help, and with full understanding of what you're doing. If you want to play Mary Had a Little Lamb all by yourself, maybe even write it, read it, let's do that today. All right, check it out in the lesson. To begin our study, we're going to look at these 5 lines right here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines, and we have this swirly thing right here, and this is called a treble clef. So I'm going to write that down right here. Treble clef. And this treble clef swirls around one line, the second line right here. And if I draw a circle right here, this note is called G, because the treble clef is also known as the G clef, because that's where it swirls around. And the way we move on the grand staff is we move in little bubbles called note heads, and we move from line to space to line to space. And then I'm going to create a very important line right here called middle C. Now check this out. I moved from line to space and I moved backwards from G to F to E to D to C. And this right here is so important. It's called middle C. Okay, the most important note you're going to learn because it serves as a landmark. Now I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to start mixing my markers. Uh-oh! So this right here is our landmark middle C. It's going to serve as a great reference point. And this other one is G. This is our other reference point. Okay? You can use these reference points to get from point to point. Alright, so that's basically the treble clef, and you can go up and up. So let's just do an example of a C major scale. Oops, sorry. Alright, I'm going to erase. I'm going to draw a simple C major scale just to review what we learned. So we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. Pretty easy, and it continuously goes up. Alright, that's about the basics of the treble clef. Let's move on to the bass clef, so these other 5 lines right here. Now notice the bass clef also does something similar. It creates this little swirly dot right here on something known as the F. So let me just draw an arrow. This is called the bass clef, also known as the F clef because of this swirly thing right here. So between these 2 dots, you see those 2 dots right here? Between those 2 dots, you're going to get this F right here. So this F serves as another landmark note. So let me erase all that. Now that we know that this is F and this is C, let's get up to there. So we have F moving from line to space. We have G, A, B, and here we go. Here's our middle C right there. So we have F, G, A, B, and C. Making sense? This is super easy. All right. I told you Mary Had a Little Lamb couldn't be that hard. So we have our reference points. We have C, we have G, we have F, and we can basically complete the whole alphabet going up and down your alphabet. Now, one thing you're going to realize when you're sight reading through your music, you're going to know A through G like the back of your hand. You're going to know it like let's say you can go from C and you can do a skip. So you can do something called a line to line. Notice how I skipped from this line to this line, and I skipped that space right there. So let's see, if I did something like this, I did this line, and then I have this space right here. And then I have a line, and then I have this space right here. And now notice, this is D, this is F. Those are skips because space to space means we skip. So I'll write that down. Space to space equals a skip. And now we have the identical thing right here we have C, we have E, and we have G. And that's the same thing. So I'm going to write line to line equals a skip. These are simple strategies to make understanding your notes a little bit easier. Rather than counting up from C and going C, D, E, F, G, you could do something called skip count. So there's lots of approaches to understanding the grand staff. There's the middle C approach, where you basically go from C and you say C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and you basically count everything up from C, or you go C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, and you continuously go down. You could also skip count, where you go line to line, to line, to line, to line, to line. Or you could also do something which everybody knows about, if you've been in band class at least. There's these things called every good boy does fine. So that's every good boy does fine. And then you also have the spaces. So you have, oh, where are you going? We got space has a face. So this is F-A-C-E. F-A-C-E. Okay, so that covers about everything there. And now notice I have my middle C right here. A line to line means we skip, so that makes sense. If I go C, D, E, and I skip D, I have C right here, and I have E right there. That makes total sense. All right, let's erase that. Let's move on to bass clef. So if I do the same thing, I can have good boys do fine always. Good. This gets a little bit confusing since the mnemonics have basically the same exact phrases, but I'm sure you could come up with other ones like good bananas do, I don't know. Comment down below what you think. All right, those are the lines. Then we have the spaces. So let me do that in a different color. Where are you going? This one I love. All cows eat grass for breakfast. So I have all cows eat grass for breakfast. And now notice this is A right here. If this is A, what's a skip up from A? Line to line means we skip. A, B, and here's the C. So there's a couple of different methods you can use. You can use to review what I said. You can use, let me clean that up a bit more. You can use one, the middle C approach to learning your notes. Number two, you can use landmarks and just basically memorize those landmarks, G and C and F, and making everything easy, assigning notes that you have reference. That way you can find the notes in between. That's pretty easy. And then the third one is, of course, mnemonics, like every good boy does fine, space has a face. Sometimes that gets a bit confusing, so I would recommend the landmark note one the best. That way you understand the whole thing, and if you forget a mnemonic, it's no worries because you know how everything relates to each other. All right, let me deliver on my promise for Mary Had a Little Lamb. So we have E. Okay, how do I get to D? I'm going to travel from my line to my space. This is D. How am I going to get to C? I'm going to travel from space. I'm going to draw a line. So those are the first three notes of Mary Had a Little Lamb. We have E, then we have D, and C. The good thing about Mary Had a Little Lamb is it's not a lot of notes. So we have E, D, C. We go back up to D. And then we have E, E, E. All right. I'm not going to go through the whole thing because I bet you could probably do that by yourself, but these are just the basics of understanding music notation. I know that this was really basic, and of course there's more to learn, such as measures and time signatures and different ways to write rhythms and all that, but honestly, understanding all of these notes is a challenge in itself, and it takes a long time to get your brain familiarized with all of these different locations for all the pitches. So here's a helpful hint. Check out musictheory.net. It's completely free. You can choose any flashcard you want to study and get really good at these notes because it's crucial and foundational for you to sight read a lot better. If you're not a tech fan, I don't know why you wouldn't if you're on YouTube, but you can check out Alfred flashcards and have the paper flashcards if you prefer that better. All right, hope that was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next lesson.